From foreshadowing Vecna to secret X-Men references, these are 23 things you completely missed in Stranger Things, and let's start with one that's hiding in plain sight. When Vecna kills people in Season 4, their bodies float in the air with their backs bent and arms stretched out. That's the same way Will looked in Season 2 when he was taken over by the Mind Flayer. We didn't know it back then, but now it feels like an early hint about Vecna's powers even before we met him. Eleven's name isn't just a number. Yeah, she's called 11 because she was the 11th test subject in the lab. But there's a fun little joke hidden in that name too. In an old comedy movie called This Is Spinal Tap, a rock band shows off their speakers and says, "Most amps go to 10, but ours go to 11. It's one louder." So naming her 11 is like saying she's not just powerful, she's more powerful than everyone else. In Season 3, Max tells 11 to pretend everything's okay even when it's not. But in Season 4, Max actually does this herself. She hides how much she's hurting after Billy's death and acts like she's fine. Vecna targets her and she almost dies. So that advice from Season 3 comes back in a sad and serious way. In Season 1, the Upside Down looks old and frozen in time like nothing ever changes there. But in Season 4, we find out why. The Upside Down is stuck on the exact day Will went missing, November 6, 1983. That's the same day Vecna was trapped there, so when Vecna got banished, time in the Upside Down completely stopped. When you see the Demogorgon in Season 1, you'd probably think it was all computer generated. But surprise! A lot of it was done with practical effects. They actually had a real actor in a rubber monster suit, complete with animatronic parts for the face and mouth. Billy's car is possessed? Okay, not really possessed, but Billy's red Camaro in Season 2 is the same model and color as the car from Christian, a famous horror story by Stephen King about a car that's actually alive and evil. So yeah, Billy's car isn't eating people, but it's definitely got villain energy. Robin and Steve's movie theater scene? It actually hints at their stories. In Season 3, Robin and Steve are hiding in a movie theater watching Back to the Future. That movie is all about secrets, figuring out who you are, and trying to change the past, and guess what? That fits both of them perfectly. Robin is hiding the secret that she's gay. Steve is trying to figure out who he really is after high school, so the movie they are watching isn't just for fun, it actually matches their character journeys. Clever, right? In Season 4, the kids start a Dungeons & Dragons group called the Hellfire Club, and it sounds super dramatic. But here's the fun part, it's actually a reference to the X-Men comics. In those comics, the Hellfire Club is a group of rich villains with psychic powers who mess with Jean Grey, a girl with crazy telekinetic powers who loses control. Sounds familiar, huh? Yeah, just like 11, who also has the powers and struggles to control them. Not only that, but the Duffer Brothers took inspiration from the X-Men comics again. You see, during the final face-off between 11 and the Demogorgon in Season 1 finale, 11 pins the Demogorgon to a wall, which is exactly similar to the time when Jean Grey from X-Men comic issue 134 pins the Mastermind to the wall and overloads his brain with knowledge. In Season 4, when Hopper is locked up in the Russian prison, something is written on his prisoner uniform, but it's in Russian. But if you translate it into English, it translates to American. It makes a lot of sense now to why everyone was calling him American. In Season 4, Lucas joins the basketball team and wears jersey number 8. That's not random. It's a special tribute to Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players ever. Kobe wore number 8 during the early part of his career, so giving that number to Lucas is the show's way of tributing Kobe internationally. In Season 4, we meet Victor Creel, a man locked up in a mental hospital after a scary tragedy with his family. Here's the cool part, he's played by Robert Englund, the same actor who played Freddy Krueger, the creepy villain from A Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy also attacked people through their dreams, just like Vecna in Stranger Things. So yeah, they cast the original Dream Monster actor in a show about dream-related horror. In the Season 4 finale, Eddie shreds a song called Master of Puppets on his guitar in the Upside Down. That song is by Metallica, and it's all about control, manipulation, and fighting back against evil, which fits perfectly with what's happening in the story. Vecna is controlling people like puppets, and Eddie is literally distracting him with the power of metal. The song choice wasn't random, it was made for that moment. In Season 4, Will gives Mike a painting and says that 11 asked him to make it, but that's not really true. The painting shows Mike as the hero, and it's super emotional, because it's actually about how Will feels about Mike. He's scared to tell the truth, so he pretends it's from Elle. But you can see he's hurting inside. The painting is basically his way of saying I love you without saying it out loud. It's heartbreaking and Mike has no idea. Before Stranger Things even starts, it's already paying tribute to 1980 80s horror just through its opening credits font. That glowing red text? It's set in ITC Bangad, the same typeface used on the covers of tons of classic Stephen King novels like Pets, Cemetery, Christine, and Cujo. The actor who plays Argyle, Eduardo Franco, didn't know how to drive a manual car before filming season 4, so when you see him driving that surfer boy pizza van, he was actually learning while filming the show. Originally, Steve was supposed to die in season 1. He was meant to be just a typical jerk boyfriend, a total dumbhead character. But the Duffer brothers saw how good Joe Keery, the actor, was and how much fans actually liked him, even though he started off annoying, so they changed their plans. Instead of killing him off, they gave Steve more depth and made him one of the main characters, and that's how he became the lovable babysitter Steve we all know now. Before season 4 came out, the creators didn't want fans to know Jamie Campbell Bower was playing Vecna, so they told everyone his character's name was Peter Ballard, a fake name to hide the big twist. That way, no one would guess he was actually one, Henry Creel and Vecna. In season 4, when Eddie was about to steal the RV, Max gives him a Halloween mask to wear so he can hide his identity. That mask is actually the same one Max wore back in season 2 during her first Halloween with the group. It's a Michael Myers mask. In season 2, the group learns that if they shut the gate while Will is still possessed, it could kill him. That's why they force the mind flayer out of Will first, using heat before closing the gate, so by season 3, Max should remember that. But in the season 3 finale, when the adults say they're going to shut down the Russian gate, Billy is still possessed, just like Will was. Yet, Max doesn't say anything. In season 1, episode 1 of Stranger Things, when Will sees the Demogorgon, he panics and runs to the shed. He grabs a gun to protect himself, but before he can shoot, the Demogorgon gets him and he disappears. Right after that, the camera shows the shed again, and strangely, the gun is back on the wall like it was never touched. Later in the episode, when Hopper comes to investigate, the gun is completely gone, not on the wall, not anywhere. In season 4's big fight, the rainbows on the wall aren't just decoration. When 11 and 1, Vecna, face off in the lab, there are 2 rainbow murals behind them. Behind 11, a normal rainbow. Behind 1, an upside down rainbow. It's a small detail, but it shows something big. One belongs to the upside down, the dark flip version of the real world, so those rainbows are a visual hint. These two are complete opposites, and their battle is literally between light and dark. In season 4, Robin explores Nancy's room just like 11 did in season 1. She touches the ballerina music box almost the exact same way 11 did years earlier. It's the show's way of connecting the past to the present and showing how the characters' paths keep crossing. So yeah, these were the 23 hidden details you missed while watching Stranger Things. Now these were all the couples in Stranger Things, and if you want to know about all the major deaths in Stranger Things, then click on this video, go ahead and click it.